Hi, my name is Reyna Cox. I work in document translations, and document translations is where somebody who, say, might need an IEP translated into Arabic would hand me the document. I would give it to the Arabic team. The Arabic team would tell me how much money it's going to cost, what the time frame is, and then I would tell the client approves it. I let the team know, and when they are done with the project, I review it and pass it back on to the client. I know several languages. I know English, which I am fluent in. I know French, which I am pretty okay in. I know pretty well. I know Spanish, which I know. Norwegian, I kind of know. And then Irish, I know pretty okay. I can't speak any of these languages, but I can read them. That's going to sound weird because I can definitely speak English, but that's okay. I didn't even say ASL, but it's assumed. I'm just gonna go with it. I would say I'm multilingual. I am definitely not an interpreter, but I do know these languages. So my background in ASL, I grew up and I had a first grade teacher who taught us ASL. It was like easy signs, ABCs, finger spelling, that kind of thing. And then my cousin was born and she is deaf. She was born deaf. So I tried to communicate with her, but it was hard because she lived in California and I lived in Oregon. And when I went to college, I decided I would take ASL. I thought, why not? And so I did. And then when I decided to study interpreting, but I never passed the last test. And so I never became an interpreter. So if we're including the first grade teacher, if we're including that year, I would say 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. There were several reasons that I chose not to become an interpreter, one of which was the test. The test itself, I had awful test anxiety. And so it was hard for me to test accurately. Another reason was because of all of the rules. So as an interpreter, some of the rules would include wearing dark or neutral clothes always. You can't paint your nails any color. You have to be confidential always. And and you would also be scrutinized from everybody. If I was out partying or socializing, hanging out with people, and somebody in the deaf community saw me, they could judge me and it would come back to haunt me. They would analyze me at every turn. Everybody would analyze me because I was new, because I was an interpreter. And it was just hard for me. And I decided I didn't want it. I couldn't do it. And so because of the tests and all of those rules, I decided I wanted out. I didn't want to do it anymore. You have to be willing to follow the rules. You have to be willing to study for a long time. And in interpreting now, there's this idea of by interpreting. And that stands for bilingual, bicultural interpreting. So it's all well and good to know ASL, but you also have to be involved in the community and involved in the culture to be able to interpret. Yeah, I would say that's accurate. Sure. So for RID, it is an organization that certifies interpreters. To become RID certified, you take 2 tests. The first one is called the NIC Knowledge Test or exam. The second one is a performance exam, so the NIC performance exam. I believe you have to pass the NIC performance with a 4.5 or higher for Oregon. I don't know about other states though. But once you pass those tests, you become RID certified. ASL is hard. ASL interpreting is hard. ASL is easy to learn, and I think everybody should learn it. One of my favorite things about ASL is that you can use it anywhere. If you want to be secretive, you can sign it to somebody, like at a party. If you want to leave, you can like sign something to them and they can know. Or if you're in a really loud room, like a music concert, and you can't hear the person across the room from you, you can sign at them and they will completely understand what you need. Interpreting is hard though. It's a lot of studying. It's a lot of rules. It's a lot of work and dedication. A cool fact about ASL is that each country or most countries have their own signed language. For example, America has ASL, and a country like England will have BSL. In America, we actually have 2 signed languages. One is BASL and the other is ASL. BASL is Black American Sign Language, and ASL is just American Sign Language. And Kelsey is the best. Ta-da.